Assalamu alaikum beautiful people. So today we are covering up the third lecture of biological molecules. Biological molecules, let me just write it over here, biological molecules, biomolecules. Okay, so in the previous lectures we just studied about that biological molecules are building blocks of life. Okay, and then among the building block of life there are proteins, there are carbohydrates, lipids, water. Okay, so then we came to the carbohydrates, and in carbohydrates we covered the monosaccharides and the disaccharides. So today we are covering the polysaccharides. So let's see. Polysaccharides are also called the polymers. Okay, the polymers, and these are the macromolecules. Okay, macromolecules means large molecules. Okay, they are made up of small molecules, or you can say micromolecules, or you can say monomers. Okay, these monomers are also called the subunits of a polysaccharide or a polymer. Okay, so monomers are like glucose, which we studied before, and glucose also have like alpha glucose and the beta glucose. And what is changed in alpha and beta? Basically the positioning of hydroxyl group. Okay, we'll study about that. That is an important detail because that detail just make up the structure of polysaccharide. Okay, alpha glucose and beta glucose both are different. Okay, and they make different polysaccharide. Okay, combination of their bonding make different polysaccharide. Okay, so consist of several thousand of monomers, like I said before. Okay, important polysaccharides. Okay, I'm writing over here the short form because I'm giving you lecture, but in exams you don't have to write it this way. Okay, you have to write the full form. Okay, polysaccharide. Okay, then you can like mention it like this, but I think you should avoid that. Okay, try to write the full form of words. Okay, because they will deduct your marks if you write the short forms. Okay, so write full forms, write precise whatever they're like asking, but write the full form of the word. Okay, so the polysaccharides are starch, glycogen and glucose. Okay, they are polymers of glucose. Okay, these two are made up of alpha glucose, and this is made up of beta glucose. So that's why it's important to know the structure. Why it's important? Like it's just one group, it's just an OH group. Okay, but the positioning of the OH group matters a lot. Okay, one displacement of the OH group will change the whole structure. That's why you have to learn the structure of alpha glucose as well as the structure of beta glucose properly. Let's see. Okay, there are the large molecules. They are unreactive and insoluble molecules. Okay, they are basically starch and glycogen basically are the storage form. Okay, glycogen is stored in animals, whereas starch is stored in plants. Okay, and cellulose is the most abundant among them. It forms the cell wall of plant and give the plants its firm structure. We'll study about it later, but it is the most abundant polysaccharide that exists on the planet Earth. Okay, starch and glycogen. Okay, so they both have the same mixture. That's why we are studying about them together. They have like the mixture of amylose and amylopectin. Okay, amylose is a long chain of 1,4 glucose molecule. Okay, alpha glucose molecule. I was like, what the hell I have to say? Okay, like this long chain of several molecules. Okay, several molecules. There are molecules over here and there are many molecules over here as well. Okay, so there are many molecules over here. This is called the amylose. Okay, and then there is a branch which is like coming from the amylose long chain, separating, and this is like different type of bonding. Okay, this branch is called the amylopectin. Okay, so, and this is what's making the structure of starch. Okay, the long chain of 1,4 linkage of alpha glucose molecule is basically causing the curve. Okay, it causes a curve and forms a curve of the molecule, of the macromolecule. Okay, we'll like see the picture over here. Okay, so you can see this 1,4, these are the glucose, alpha glucose. Okay, these are the alpha glucose. Okay, what happened when the chain is very long, so it start on curving itself. Okay, start on curving itself, it start on making a spiral, it start on making helix structure. Okay, so this is, what the hell, okay, this is due to the 1,4 linkage of alpha glucose molecule. Okay, so let's just go through the, okay, and the 1,6 linkage is the branch. Okay, the branch, as I said before, 1,6 linkage is the branched out chain. Okay, you can see over here, this is the 1,4 linkage, this is the 1,4 linkage, this is the 1 and this is the 4, and they're making a long chain. Okay, then when they are like branching, what's happening is like the 1 carbon is making bond with the 6th carbon. Okay, so it's called the 1,6 linkage. Okay, now this chain, which is going to continue, like again over here we have the 4 carbon. Okay, and this is like continuing into a long chain, but this chain is branched out. Okay, so this branched out chain is called the amylopectin. You can find different type of images in several books of A-levels. Okay, and you can also Google them if you don't have a book, or you should have a book, by the way. ChatGPT is not for everything. Okay, so you must have a book. Okay, so that's what's happening, and you can see this is like the long chain of amylose. Okay, and these branches are the amylopectin. That's what's happening. Okay, this literature is basically what I concise the lecture, and you can have the lecture and read it yourself. It's just what about starch, about everything that we are studying. So I'm just telling you via the images, because images are like much more easier than words. Okay, first you need to understand what's going on, then you can read about it later. That's what I meant to say. So let's see. Starch is basically in chloroplast, tubers of potatoes, several seeds of cereal, and lipids. So this is where starch is formed, and glycogen is basically in the liver and the muscle cell. Okay, the only difference between glycogen and starch is that glycogen tend to have more amylopectin branches. It's more branched out as compared to starch. That is the only difference. They both are made up of alpha glucose, so that is an easy part. They both have 1,4 linkage and 1,6 linkage branches. That's the easy part. The only difference we have is that one is found in plant, one is found in animal, and one is basically have more branches and one have less branches. So it's easy peasy. Okay, the only thing hard is that you need to know the alpha glucose structure and the beta glucose structure. You need to know about that, and you can find them online, you can find them in the books. Okay, you need to learn them, you need to know that, you need to know how to draw the structure, how to branch out the things. Okay, so now we are over here to cellulose. Okay, cellulose is the most abundant molecule on planet Earth. Okay, cell walls of the plants are composed of cellulose. Okay, it gives the plant its firm structure. Okay, unlike starch and glycogen, it is made up of alpha glucose. Unlike starch and glycogen, it is made up of beta glucose. Okay, so the beta glucose, the OH molecule on the carbon atom projects above the ring. Okay, that's the only difference in beta isomer. We can say glucose have two isomers, glucose isomer alpha and beta. Beta have the OH group above the ring, okay, on one carbon. Okay, so what happens over here is the bonding is similar. Okay, the bonding is 1,4 glycosidic bond, okay, which is forming. But what happens over here, in order for this bond to form, the molecule, one of the molecule have to rotate like this 180 degrees. Okay, because why? You can see like there's a space over here, I'll show you. Like on one the OH is above and the other the OH is down. So what happened is that this one have to rotate itself. Okay, this one have to rotate itself so that the OH group is also above. Both the OH group are either above or below. Okay, so in order for that kind of thing, one of the molecule rotates. So when it's bonding, so you can say that first molecule is as it is and the second molecule is like flipped. Flipped. Suddenly I forgot the spelling of flipped. I hope I wrote it right. What is the spelling of flipped? Flipped. Okay, there are supposed to be two T's. Oh my god. Flipped. Okay, well, let's see. Okay, what else? We need to know that it is like a weakly attract bonding because the molecule is flipped, but because the molecules are so much in quantity, that's why they're like, they make it a stronger molecule. Okay, so you can say like one molecule bonding is a weak bonding, but because there are so many molecules making up a cellulose molecule, so they all together make the bonding strong. Okay, let's come over here and talk about the dipoles. But before that, I need to tell you guys the structure of how they're bonding. What happens is, where is the book? Wait a second, let me just draw it over here. So what happens is, this is the molecule of beta. Okay, the OH is above. This is the other molecule. Okay, what happens is this one will rotate itself. Okay, and that rotation is 160 degrees. Okay, so now how will they form? They will form bonds like this. Like this is one molecule, the bonding is like this. Okay, on the other molecule the bonding is like this. Oh my god, so difficult to do. Okay, again the O will be up there and then the O will be down here. Okay, so one is above and one is below, and that's how a long chain is formed of 1,4 linkage. Okay, and they are the same glycosidic bonds, and they are made up of condensation, which we studied before in previous lecture. Okay, so let's talk about the dipoles and hydrogen bond. Okay, so these are the hydrogen bonds which are like in the water molecule. Okay, so what's happening over here is they are sharing electrons. Okay, sharing electrons. Now in chemistry you have studied about these rings, okay, in which the electron moves. Okay, this is any element. Okay, any element A you can say. Okay, and then you have an element B. Okay, so some have 3 rings, some you call these shells, like orbits. Okay, so some have 2 orbits, some have 3 orbits. Okay, so what happens, because of this orbits, every element have different pull. of electron. Okay, so different pull of electron. So what happens is that sometimes when the molecules are at sharing, what happens is that when some of the elements share more electron, like they have a stronger pull on the electron and stronger pull at the energy of the electron. Okay, so what happens is that they are like sharing more electrons as compared to the other one. So over here we have the same case. So what's happening is that the slightly more the oxygen atom over here is like sharing more electron. Okay, so that is making it like yeah, we donate it by delta minus. Okay, so has a small negative charge. Okay, the oxygen have a small negative charge. Okay, and the hydrogen have a slightly less than their fair share. Okay, so they share less electron, electronic field, you can say, not the electron itself, it's like the field of sharing electron, like basically they are sharing an electron, right? So what's happening is like the oxygen is sharing more and the hydrogen is sharing less electron. Okay, and it's like a, you can say, force. Okay, force of pulling the electron, you can say. So that's why the hydrogen and the oxygen, they have negative and positive charges. That's what's giving them, like, that's what's making them bipolar. You can say bipolar, or you can say polar molecules. Okay, polar molecules have charges on them. What happens is like we donate them by this thing. Okay, delta plus and delta minus, and what happening over here is that oxygen is sharing more fair, so we are donating it by negative, and oxygen is like sharing less, so we are donating it by positive. Okay, you'll understand this. This is just the attraction, the pull towards the electron, the force of attraction, you can say. Okay, so oxygen is like pulling more electron and hydrogen is pulling less electron, like its field is less, its force is less. And this is what's happening over here when we are like making this bond. Okay, and this rotation is happening, that's why we are studying this. This is happening over here. Okay, you can read more about it in the book. Okay, so this kind of unequal distribution of charges or distribution of electron is called the dipole, or you can call the molecule a bipolar molecule or a polar molecule. Okay, bi basically means two. Okay, okay, now we have the structure of a cellulose. Okay, so the cellulose structure, only long chains of beta glucose. Thousands of molecules join together to make these chains, and these chains, basically what happen is, like you see over here, this is what happening over here, like hydrogen bond, this force is over here, the force we were talking about before over here. This force is basically keeping them together. It's like one chain is over here and another chain is over here, but they're like joining together by artificial bond, you can say, or you can say they're like just forces that keeping the chains together, you can say that. The forces are like not making actual bonds, but they are like keeping the chains together, like keeping them in bundles. Okay, so these bundles are making the cellulose molecule. Okay, you can read this. This one is called a microfiber, and this is the diameter of it, and made up of 60 to 70 molecules of beta glucose. Okay, obviously. Okay, this is the same thing. Okay, it's showing the. Now what happens when a molecule is polar? Okay, the polar molecules are basically hydrophilic. Hydrophilic is a term we use when a molecule is soluble in water. Okay, this bonding is basically the cause of any molecule to like dissolve completely in water. Okay, so any polar molecules, they are easily soluble in waters, and the non-polar molecules which don't have this type of bonding, they are hydrophobic. Phobic as in phobia. Phobia means fear. Fear means like they are water hating. and they are not soluble in water. Okay, so this is what's making the molecule dissolve in water, and this is the property which some molecules have and some molecules don't have. So I hope you guys understand today's lecture, and this lecture was on polysaccharides, and tomorrow we will be studying about the lipids. Till then, I hope you enjoyed, and if you want these lectures, you can contact me via my email address, which is mentioned down below, and yes, you can tell me if you need the lectures, and I'll send you the PDF form and you can prepare yourself for exam format. Till then, Allah Hafiz.